In the heart of foggy London, a young orphan girl gazes out of the cracked window of her cold, gray room. Her eyes shimmer not with tears, but with the dreams of a world far beyond the one she knows. Who would have imagined that this girl, with nothing but hope to her name, would one day find herself at the heart of a royal court, winning the love of an Arabian king? This isn't just a story of love. It's the story of courage, destiny, and the magic of believing in more. Life was anything but kind to her. An orphan in the heart of industrial England, she grew up in a world that demanded resilience and offered little in return. Days blurred into nights within the walls of a cold, unloving orphanage. Her only companions were books that spoke of lands she could scarcely imagine. But in her heart burned a quiet fire, a hope that one day destiny would take her far beyond the soot-streaked streets she called home. Little did she know, an opportunity was waiting, one that would change her life forever. The journey was like a dream, a distant land she had only read about now, stretched out before her eyes. As the British orphan stepped into the shimmering desert kingdom, the stark contrast to her gray past overwhelmed her senses. The bustling bazaars alive with colors, the intoxicating scent of spices wafting through the air, and the endless golden sands under the bright Arabian sun. It was a world she never knew could exist. Yet this was her new reality. Her arrival was not without its challenges. Every glance reminded her of how foreign she was, and every word in a language she didn't understand felt like a mountain she had to climb. But it was here, amidst the grandeur of the palace and the hum of royal life, that fate took an unexpected turn. One fateful evening, wandering through the palace gardens, she stumbled upon someone she thought was an ordinary man. Unbeknownst to her, it was the king himself, moving incognito amidst his people. Their meeting was accidental, but the impression she left was anything but. Unfiltered and genuine, she spoke to him as she would any stranger, with honesty and warmth that his court rarely offered. It was her difference that intrigued him, her unpretentious curiosity, her willingness to learn and adapt, and the quiet strength she carried despite her humble beginnings. This was the spark that lit the flame, a connection forged in a fleeting moment, destined to rewrite both their stories. But the road ahead wouldn't be easy. The customs of the kingdom were foreign to her, and many in the royal circle eyed her with skepticism. Yet, through her sincerity and effort to understand the culture, she began to win, and over not just the king's heart, but the trust of those around her. The unlikely bond between a foreign orphan and an Arab king was forming, a bond that would stand the test of opposition, culture, and time. Their connection, once a quiet flame, had grown into a powerful beacon that lit the entire kingdom, but not everyone celebrated their love. Voices of doubt echoed through the royal halls, questioning her place in this grand world. Could a simple orphan girl, raised far from this culture, ever be accepted as their queen? The challenges were many: tradition, expectations, and the rigid norms of a royal court. Yet she didn't waver. She faced the scrutiny with quiet strength, her actions speaking louder than words. Whether it was learning their language, embracing their customs, or working tirelessly to help the people, she proved time and again that love is not limited by heritage or circumstance. When the king finally stepped forward, declaring her his chosen queen, it wasn't just a triumph of love, it was a symbol of transformation. Together, they dared to rewrite the rules, proving that the heart knows no boundaries and that unity is stronger than tradition. As the people began to see her not as an outsider but as one of their own, her story became one of hope, inspiring not only the kingdom but the world beyond its borders. The journey from orphan to queen was extraordinary, but her story didn't end there. It was only the beginning. As queen, she became a bridge between two worlds, her life an embodiment of unity and understanding. Programs she championed brought education and opportunity to children, reminding her of the struggles she had once endured. She worked tirelessly to honor the culture she had come to love, blending its traditions with innovative ideas. But her greatest legacy wasn't her titles or accomplishments, it was her impact on the hearts of the people. Her story inspired others to see beyond divisions, to believe in the power of love, and to embrace those who may be different from themselves. As she stood on the palace balcony, gazing at the sun setting over the vast desert, she reflected on the girl she once was. A child in the foggy streets of London, dreaming of a life far beyond her reach. The journey had been long, the trials many, but the reward was immeasurable. She had not only found love and purpose, but had forever changed the course of history. Hers was a legacy of courage, compassion, and an unwavering belief that no dream is too big and no love is too improbable. She had become the queen of a kingdom and of hearts everywhere. Years later, her story would be told in whispers and songs, remembered as more than a tale of romance, but as a symbol of hope and unity. The orphan from foggy London who found herself under the desert sun had rewritten not just her destiny, but the fate of a kingdom. As queen, she championed causes that bridged her past with her present. She built schools for children like her, young, ambitious dreamers who needed only a chance to prove their worth. She fostered cultural exchanges, ensuring that no one ever felt the isolation she had once endured. Through every speech, every law, and every quiet act of kindness, she solidified her legacy. She proved that courage and authenticity could conquer hearts, that love could transcend traditions, and that one person could truly make a difference. Even now, travelers to the kingdom speak of her presence still lingering in its vast sands and vibrant streets. Her story became an anthem, a testament to the boundless possibilities life holds when one dares to dream. Standing atop the palace balcony one final time, she gazed out at her kingdom, the golden dunes, the bustling cities, the people who adored her. She smiled, not just for what she had become, but for the journey that had brought her there. The girl who once had nothing had given everything, and in return became an eternal queen in both title and spirit. Her heart, her courage, her story, they would live on, inspiring generations to believe in the extraordinary.